Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Salut à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Today we're playing Ken's Follett, The Pillar of the Earth. It came out in 2017. It's an adventure, indie game, puzzle, point and click, visual novel. Aujourd'hui, on joue à Ken's Follett, Le Pilier de la Terre, sorti en 2017. Une aventure, indie, puzzle, point et cliquer et une nouvelle visuelle.
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waleran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret. And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all. I know, you'd not planned the cathedral to be that high. But I reinforced the walls, like in Saint-Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it? I might need them to find out what's causing all this. That won't help solving my problem. No. I don't want to break more stones loose. The roof looks all right. One day, people will fly, like birds, sailing on the wind. Rashid told me. The vaulting is cracked. If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is. All right. One more time. If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom, What would you have done now? When we erected the Eastern Wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases. Ground is the same, but it had never been that dry. We had no problems with the rest of the walls. The crypt! Huh? Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so, too. I would be honored if he read my book.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan. It is just a book.
The problem is that the people love your sermons and what you wrote, even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people hope?
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Ah, do you?
Jack!
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late. That definitely wasn't here before. The cause of the instability must be down here. This is the spot. Let's find out what the real problem is. The old wall here, or what's behind it. Here we go. God. These stones, they've been removed before. Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
That's what we'll find out.
Careful now. You've got the whole east wall on top of you. Jack?
Jack?
I'm all right. I just hit my head. It's dark in here. There's a whole room here.
A chamber!
I'll get a torch.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
That's not wood. It's metal. Gold, even. Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Huh? It's a bed.
What?
There's a bed in here.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch.
It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that doing here?
I have the torch.
All right, come in here. Should be safe. Did you know about this place?
No. No, I did not. I've seen this chalice before, when I was very young. It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral. Cuthbert told me about it. They said it was stolen.
And melted down, I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid the chalice is responsible for his death. They hanged him in Shiring for stealing this chalice. But it was here all along.
That scourge, the whip. It belonged to Prior James. I was afraid of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw him during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down, there was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody, as if he had chastised himself.
It is you! By God and the devil!
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Did he? You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
Nothing. I did not tell Philip. I wasn't ready to confess what I had done. But I could see the doubt in his eyes.
Waleran. What do you want?
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these? While your people starve on the streets of Shiring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles. And you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed. Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The Bible again.
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it. And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife? They've not returned yet, Lord William. Then get me a whore. Now!
I am sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Someone help me! Please! I need help!
Oh, oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse! It fell! I can't move!
Take my hand! We'll get you inside! We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you. I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm.
She took her. Should have let her die. We would all be better off without someone like her.
We don't have much, but always enough for a lost soul.
She doesn't deserve anything.
Take a bowl and go ahead.
I don't like this.
Hold your horses. We'll see what happens. Shush! Let her eat.
Thank you. Eat this. You must be hungry.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Why are you giving her soup? Dirt. That's what she deserves for dinner.
What? Do you want her to starve?
Please, don't start a fight.
What's she doing now?
I don't know. I think she's freezing. Maybe we should be kinder to her.
No, they don't deserve her kindness.
I hope the storm spares your homes and fields.
If only we had that much left.
We still have our lives.
And our dignity.
You still have yours.
Just try to ignore him. I am.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to me. My entourage didn't even notice they lost me.
Who?
My husband and his entourage.
A fine husband you have. I divorced my last one for less than that.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been beside himself ever since his mother.
Maybe now you'll understand what loss feels like. And what you people are doing to us.
Stop bullying her. Can't you see she's upset? How do they know you? This isn't right.
Oh, I'm used to it. I guess that's how it is when your husband holds an office like that. He has to do a lot of things people don't like. And sometimes they recognize me, too.
Wait. Is your husband the Earl of Shiring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Please don't abandon me too. I swear, I'm not... I can't...
I used to know him when I was a girl.
Really?
Why did you marry him?
My parents arranged it. And it was an honor to be picked.
What's he like now?
I loathe him with all my heart. How do you know him?
He wanted to marry me when I was your age. Apparently, he likes young girls, no matter how old he gets.
You too were supposed to marry him. How come you didn't?
He was a beast. So I refused.
You refused him?
It caused a lot of misery.
Oh, you're so courageous. I wish I was like you. I can't even stand up to the servants.
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the downfall of this land. For years he roamed across the country to raid, rape and kill.
I'm sorry.
He's no earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him too.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his victims?
I'll give over. She's in on it too.
Can you even imagine how it must be to be a child married to Hamley? The abuse and the humiliation every single day. I'm so sorry.
I'm crying because you know too.
Enough to know your pain.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Sam, where the hell am I supposed to tether this horse?
It's Walter. He's looking for me.
Listen. Use your status. It gives you power. People will get used to doing what you say. Favor those who help, so people will recognize that it pays to oblige the Lady of Shiring. And since Hamley is hated, they'll soon love you more than him.
You make it sound so easy.
That should do it.
Walter.
You? I've not seen you in a long time. William would be very pleased if I brought him your head.
No! Don't harm her! If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
Thank you for saving me and protecting me from these people.
Come on now, we need to get going. William is waiting.
Oh, c'était chapitre 17. Chapter 17. What did we do during this chapter? Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait au chapitre 17? Vous avez trouvé une chambre secrète sur la cathédrale de Kingsbridge. Yeah, we found a private hidden chamber in the Cathedral of Kingsbridge. Vous n'avez pas confessé à Philippe avoir mis le feu à l'ancienne cathédrale. I didn't confess to Philip. I wasn't ready to tell him that I put the cathedral on fire. Le livre de Philippe est très critiqué par l'Église. Philip's book is very criticized by the church. La guerre entre l'impératrice Maud et le roi Stephen a pris fin. Yeah, the war between the Empress Maud and King Stephen is over. Vous n'avez trouvé Elizabeth qu'après être entré dans la hutte. Yeah, I found Elizabeth only after I came in the house. Vous lui avez donné de la soupe. I gave her soup. Vous lui avez donné des conseils sur comment se faire respecter. Yeah, and I told her how she could be respected. Alors, on continue, chapitre 18. Chapter 18 now.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. But only you know what my words in those letters amount to. It is different with the book I have written. It has found its way into priories throughout England and beyond. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight. Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it. But it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night? The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the Outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us another few weeks. But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right. Jonathan worries about my book, The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly, and since God made each of us, hope and salvation are only to be found within ourselves. Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else if this is what I truly believe? It must be well after midnight. With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack said that he was in the cathedral the night it burned down, and something told me he was responsible. He didn't say it out loud, but there was something in his eyes. I could see the truth. I know I am right.
My God. Save yourselves! The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late, and from a man who I have learned to trust. This is the truth. I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down. If he was never properly buried, and that is Jack's fault. A magnificent cathedral, but I would have been more than content with the old one. I'd rather stay outside. The storm has finally died down. Jack started the fire. He should have told me. Hello? I thought I saw someone. That came from the kitchen.
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead. There's someone in here.
Outlaws. They are probably just after food. I will talk to them. All right. Please, listen. Oh, we don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it. Philip, throw me a stone.
Ah! Jack, no! It's him. Brother Marcus.
Brother Marcus?
He took Cuthbert's keys to steal food here from the kitchen. Because of me, Remigius found out. And he left. We never saw him again.
Looks like he came back. You didn't mean for this to happen.
No, but...
What about him? Don't be afraid.
Ah! Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child, just like that. And I forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The Outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away? Why?
Now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
They were just looking for food. They didn't mean any harm.
It's the drought. It destroyed all the crops. They must eat something.
Desperate or not, they're only the vanguard of a full-scale invasion.
If we had a decent Earl, the people wouldn't be starving.
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language? No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
We have to stay strong, steadfast. We only have to wait until Hamley is stripped of power, right?
That would take too long. Many more will starve or die by his sword.
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
We should, and we will. But there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age. The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I am so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the Outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
They too are victims. We must show compassion. If we defend Kingsbridge, we must cause as little harm as possible. Or better, help as many as possible.
Things will only get worse if we don't find a way to deal with Hamley.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
That'll never work. We have to assault them and take back our father's castle. Even if that means fighting alongside the Outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Aliena?
I will talk to the Outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wigley had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calford, on the other hand, had a recent falling out with William Hamley. There was a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance. We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill. Hamley's Mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and had taken every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Calford. Many had fled into the forest, desperate for their lives. As we reached Wigley, we met a farmer tending to a scrawny chicken. She told us that Hamley had claimed ownership of all their cattle. Shortly after that, the cattle vanished. Raiders had taken it, throwing William Hamley into a fit of rage. Some say they recognized the thieves, neighbors who had once lived among them. They were long believed to be among the dead. Were we really building our hopes on a pack of ghosts? The fields of Huntley spurred fond memories. Here, I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and sell the farmer's wool. Now, the meadows had turned to straw, and the sheep were dead. Soon we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then I remembered how Richard had been kicked by the man William had paid to catch us, and the horrible sounds he'd made lying there. Inside the hut, I was startled by a hunched figure hiding in a corner, nibbling on a lump of bread. Upon seeing us, the creature's eyes widened, like those of a frightened animal. I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher, he blurted out, startled by his own voice. Mistaking our interest for greed, he wolfed down the rest of the bread. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher, was he the one we were looking for? A leader whom the downtrodden trusted and feared? Maybe we could find him at the quarry the man had mentioned. The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or profession, but by hunger and desperation. And by their numbers, I thought, that could make them quite dangerous. Were these outlaws? The outlaws were using a moss-covered cave and little huts as shelter. Through the cave entrance, we could see stacked crates of goods, most likely stolen. The outlaws were of varying ages and seemed almost peaceful in their little haven. Suddenly, we were startled by a shout. "Who are you?" a boy demanded with anger in his eyes. All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked afraid, curious, and confused. Others were full of hatred and contempt. "We're not here to hurt you," I explained. "We just want to talk." "Where can I find the butcher?" I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. It looked like our path would lead us back to Monksfield. Thank you for giving me and my friend shelter the other day.
Weather's fine now, so what do you want this time?
We're looking for the butcher.
The butcher of Monksfield has long since moved away.
Damn, I can't believe it.
No need for cursing, young man. If you bring me an animal, I can prepare it for you.
Do people call you the butcher then?
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces, dear. But we all have been failed by the law and our leaders. Don't you agree?
I asked because we feel the same way. And we're looking for a way to make things right again.
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army, to invade Earl's Castle and kill Earl William Hamley.
Oh, my. If it was that easy, someone would have done that a long time ago. The poor souls I meet, they're just simple people. They're not an army.
we would lead them.
I'm a knight. I know how to turn ordinary men into fighters.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chicken, let alone a man. These people are mothers, fathers, hard workers, yes, but they are not soldiers.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
You must know we are the rightful heirs to Earl Bartholomew of Shiring, and would show ourselves very generous.
So, you're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their battle, to die for you.
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of Hamley, to fight for your freedom.
The last time I saw you, you showed kindness toward that young woman who was with you. I am willing to listen to a good soul, but I won't help you blindly.
That woman that was here, that you helped, that was Hamley's wife. His wife, my God. How stupid do you think we are?
Right, it's a trap.
Well, how can these people put their life at risk if they do not trust you? You are not like us.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I know what it's like to live in poverty.
And just like you, we had William Hamley to thank for it.
But I also know that if one fights the right battles, that things can change for the better.
But they're starving, my child. They are weakened by poverty, hunger, and illness. Who are you to think you can face William Hamley?
Yeah. You! Who do you think you are?
We are the children of Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring.
Our father once ruled with a firm but benevolent hand. You must remember how good you had it.
Well, better than now, but that's easy.
He did have guts, though, trying to take on Stephen.
So, you are his daughter and son, you say?
Yes. All we know, we learned from him.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice our lives for your noble cause, these people will die.
We already have Kingsbridge on our side, including the bright mind of Prior Philip.
Oh, Philip of Kingsbridge. I have heard of him. A wise man, yes.
He took in the survivors of Hamley's raid of Earl's Castle.
Yes, and I was one of them.
He wouldn't let anybody go into certain death. Their plan must be a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
I said it before. We all have lost everything except for our lives. We don't fight other people's battles.
But maybe this is our battle too.
My people will decide for themselves. But I will tell them that I believe that it is indeed a battle worth fighting.
I thank you.
I pray that it will be worth it.
We will all pray, and then we fight.
C'était le chapitre 18. Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait? Les premiers hors-la-loi ont réussi à entrer dans Kingsbridge. The first outlaw came to Kingsbridge. Votre ancien novice, frère Marcus, était l'un des hors-la-loi. Yeah, Brother Marcus was one of the outlaws. Vous avez la possibilité de reprendre Earl's Castle et de tenir votre promesse. Yeah, we have the possibility to retake Earl's Castle. Vous avez trouvé le chef des hors-la-loi. We find the chief or the Outlaws. Vous n'avez pas fait promesse sur la sécurité des hors-la-loi en cas d'attaque. Yeah, I didn't promise nothing, no security to the outlaw if they would be attacked. Les hors-la-loi ont accepté de se battre à vos côtés. The outlaw decide to come and combat with us. So let's start chapter 19. On commence le chapitre 19.
And so, after 17 years, I finally returned to the place I'd once called home. There was a small army of famished outlaws hiding in the surrounding woods, waiting for my signal to attack. Led by my vengeful brother, Richard. But I had to be sure that Elizabeth was safe. The poor girl who in my stead had been doomed to become William Hamley's wife.
Get in line and stay in line. You'll all get your chance to pay your dues to Lord Hamley, you hear? So no pushing.
Why does Lord Hamley need all that food? He's got more than enough.
Shut it, woman. Smear your face with dung and lower your head. It's the only way you get out of here alive.
Is Lady Elizabeth home?
She is, and will be indefinitely. Don't want her to get lost in another storm. Patience, patience.
How long will this take?
A lot longer if you don't shut your mouth.
Have you seen a young blonde girl in a green dress?
No, I haven't. Did they take her as well?
She's William Hamley's wife.
Oh, that poor soul. I'm just a shepherd's daughter. I have no business here.
Have you been here often? Do you know Lord Hamley's wife, Elizabeth?
That man's had so many women. Having a wife sounds like a bad joke.
But do you know her?
I don't, and I don't care to either.
I should keep my distance.
I want to go home.
Oi, you there. Yes, I meant you. That's a pretty face you got there. You're coming with me.
What? Leave her. Take me instead.
Well, whatever. You'll walk to the other side of the yard and talk to Walter. You'll get you settled. And don't you dare stray from the path.
I shouldn't tell anyone I'm looking for her.
They say Lord Hamley might lose shiring soon. What if the next Earl has us all hanged?
Calm down. None of these royals really care about this shithole.
I know those two. They used to fight for father. May I interrupt?
What is it?
How can you fight for someone like William Hamley? My father was nothing like that tyrant.
Oh, dear Lord, it's you.
You always sat in your neat little keep playing hostess to his well-off guests, while the poor snuffed it just as they do now.
Well, at least William treats us as his equals, and not like pawns on aboard a nine-men's Morris.
father really that bad?
Your mother could have answered that question.
He once told me that she was very unhappy when she died.
And you never wondered why?
My father was a good earl.
Keep on telling yourself that. But that's not our story.
Many knights fighting for him were former outlaws who had nowhere to go anymore. Your father may have given us food and shelter, but it was no better than what you'd give to livestock.
I'm looking for Lady Elizabeth Hamley.
She's caring for Lady Regan inside the keep.
But only Lord William and Walter are allowed to go there.
And they'll kill you if they find you there.
So you won't help me?
We've already helped you more than enough by not ratting you out.
Don't tell anyone that you saw me.
We won't, if you promise to leave now.
Are you done yet?
Almost. Let me just see if I took enough. What are you doing here? You need to leave. Don't come any closer. William has me watched.
What's taking so long?
I forgot the pork. I'll be out shortly. Wait a moment, then follow me. We don't have much time. Hugh will look for me any moment now. So why did you come?
I'm waiting!
King Stephen has declared a truce with Empress Maud. William's tyranny is over. This land might finally see peace again. That's why I'm here, to talk to his mother. But if we can't agree upon terms, I'm afraid we will have to take Earl's Castle by force. There's an army of outlaws hiding in the woods waiting for my signal.
Will people die?
Yes, people will die. That's why you have to come with me.
I can't. Not without Lady Regan. You need to save Lady Regan first.
Why do you care about Regan Hamley?
Oi! Are you still in there?
She and Walter have been the only kind souls here.
Walter? William's dog?
Don't call him that. He's not as bad as people say he is. William won't allow me to talk to him anymore. Now Lady Regan is all I have left. Please, you have to promise that she'll be safe.
I will, if you agree to leave right now.
Is that a promise?
It is.
All right, I will try to sneak off then.
Hurry up in there! Or do you want me to come in and pull you out?
I need to go.
Thank the Lord she made it through. Now, I have to find Regan Hamley.
Oi, sod off. You have no reason to be here.
I shouldn't get too close to him. Elizabeth claims you aren't such a bad person after all.
Am I not? Have you forgotten that I killed your family's steward?
You got problems over there, Walter?
Tell your guard to stand down. I would be a better ruler than my father. I know my father wasn't always a good and just person. He killed, just as William does. But I would fight to be better. I would listen to the needs of this land's people.
So, you think I'm a nice bloke, and you give me orders on how to handle my men? Don't make me laugh. You!
What?
If you let me go, I promise I will end William Hamley's reign.
I don't believe you. But it's not up to me to judge these things. I'll take you to Lady Hamley. She'll decide. My lady?
Elizabeth.
She's not here, but there's someone else to see you. The Lady Aliena of Shiring.
The Lady Aliena. When did that bitch become nobility again?
I didn't know you were so ill.
Oh, don't you dare.
I'm certain you've heard about the treaty the king made with Duke Henry at Wallingford Castle.
I have. I have also heard that it's a muddled mess.
It is a complicated deal indeed, but one that will end the war. And one that makes my family the rightful owners of this earldom once more.
Only by word. There's no one who would come to enforce this, not even the king.
Don't you see what your son is doing to the land? Soon there won't be an earldom left to rule for anyone.
That's a lie. My William is a better earl than your father ever was. To think that I once wanted to marry my good William into a family like yours. Not a day goes by when I am not glad that God saved us from that horrible fate. And that he sent that monk to Bishop Waleran to unveil your father's evil plan.
What monk?
That prior of Kingsbridge. Philip of Gwynedd.
What?
Where is my Elizabeth? Why is she not here?
I promised your son's wife that I'd make certain you'd be safe.
Safe from what? From a pack of impotent monks?
I have an army outside the gates, ready to attack.
What?
Get Elizabeth. I want her at my side when the fighting starts.
She's gone.
Gone? What do you mean? Gone where?
I told her to leave Earl's Castle. She suffered enough under your son.
William didn't lay a finger on her.
He did. More than once, milady.
That is a lie.
It's up to you if this ends in a bloodbath or not.
Oh!
It's all up to you.
In the name of the true Earl of Shiring, make them suffer!
They're coming.
Mother? Mother, we're being attacked.
What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man. Cut that whore up, Walter!
No. You brought this on yourself.
You bloody traitor! Someone get up here! Men! You will pay. You will all pay for this.
Now, we tell his men.
Stop! Stop fighting! Drop your weapons immediately!
Behold the banner of the new Earl of Shiring!
Everyone, listen! Lord Hamley is dead! The castle now belongs to the former Earl's family again.
What? You're shitting us!
It was the King's wish.
Who killed him?
He died because he refused to hand over Earl's Castle peacefully.
He died by my hand. My name is Lady Aliena of Shiring. I'm the daughter of Bartholomew, the former Earl of these lands. I've been tasked to end the tyranny of William Hamley and restore order to Shiring.
Our occupation of Shiring has been made unlawful. Every attack on us is sanctioned by the King of the English.
So what will happen to us then? I shall tell the King that William Hamley forced you to do his bidding. That every atrocity done to the people of Shiring was his doing and his alone.
You will get your chance for redemption by helping the people of Shiring recover from your own cruelty. And by rebuilding their homes and tending to their fields.
Ali, I know that you're a much better leader than I. Without you, we would never have come this far. You never hesitated with swearing and fulfilling the oath to father. In the end, I will be the Earl in name only, but you shall be the true ruler of Shiring.
Don't say that. We'll do it together.
Let's discuss this later. I owe you a lot, Ali. The tyranny of William Hamley is over! The Earldom of Shiring belongs to its rightful heir. Send a messenger to Kingsbridge to let Prior Philip know that Shiring is finally free.
What is it? Why are they laughing?
You can send a messenger if you want. But there won't be much of a prior left when he arrives.
Ali, what's going on?
Chapitre 19, Chapter 19. What did we do in that chapter? Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait? Vous êtes entré dans Earl Castle avec une armée de hors-la-loi pour vous soutenir. I enter Earl Castle with an army of outlaws to be by my side. Vous avez parlé aux anciens chevaliers de votre père. I talked to the old knight of my father. Vous avez dit à Elizabeth de quitter Earl's Castle. I told Elizabeth to leave Earl's Castle. Vous avez donné l'ordre aux hommes de William d'aider à reconstruire Sharing. I gave the order of the William's people to aid rebuild the Shiring. Vous et Richard dirigerez Shiring côte à côte. Yeah, me and my brother will... Yeah, me and Richard will be... I cannot say the word in English. I don't know why. Okay, me and Richard will be in charge. Both of us together. So let's start chapter 20. On commence le chapitre 20.
The Pope believes we should either burn him or make him Bishop of Kingsbridge.
I have already taken matters into my own hands. My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle.
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
Look at all these people. Seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change. You drooling dogs should be ashamed.
Shut up, you old hag.
Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
I'll stay with you. Go ahead. We'll come after you. Quick! You can't be too late.
Is your mother ill?
It's not that. This is where they hanged my father.
The trial begins. The judges. Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester. Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring. Presiding over the trial, the Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge, Waileron Bygod.
Please. The church is not without fault. We have gathered here today before the eyes of God to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man. That God is in man, that all men are equal, and that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself. Now, we ask God for his judgment. For his is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd, how do you plead? Answer!
I am not guilty.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years. I demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior immediately.
No.
and that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
No!
What? Yes?
In what way exactly are Philip's teachings heretical?
Philip of Gwynedd has said that each of us is in part of a godly nature, for God has made us in his image. Therefore, he claims that none of us, not he, not the bishops, not even the Pope, is closer to God than any other man or woman.
Heresy! Christ made his apostle Peter his first pope. He and us, his church, hold the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Yes! The Bible also tells us, let a man be known by his actions. Philip made Kingsbridge into a prosperous place for its people and for the church you claim he disrespects.
That is true, Lady Aliena.
Yes. Let a man be known by his actions. Call in Remigius.
The Prior of Shiring, Father Remigius.
My bishop.
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was offended by his bluntness and accusations during the chapter discussions.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our king died.
Is that not a good deed? A true Christian act?
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena. Today, that will change.
Then, on the day of our first Fleece Fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
I tried to soothe the woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. Our master builder's wife tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
And Philip intervened?
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
He should have. It is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Clearly, it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
Yes!
Amen! Oh, Mary, bless us all!
Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not. He was only after the money people donated at the Virgin Shrine. That is why I left.
He had to! Amen!
I believe there is one more thing you have not told us about. Something very important.
Yes. Philip has fathered a child.
Unbelievable! I knew it!
A son. And he raised him in the priory.
He is guilty!
Jonathan of Kingsbridge, step forward.
This is preposterous.
Is it?
Is this true? Are you Philip's son? Answer the question, Jonathan of Kingsbridge.
I have no father.
Everyone has a father.
That may be, But if Philip was my father, he would have told me.
How do you know he did not lie to you?
Speak.
Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods? Is this true, Philip? Or are you lying? Well, you told the story so many times.
He was abandoned in the woods. My brother found him.
Your brother? The brother whose master you betrayed?
What are you talking about?
Philip tried to involve me in a conspiracy against his brother's master, Earl Robert of Gloucester. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew, your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate, as he was for yours when you lost your father and your earldom. That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect. Well?
I know that he is a troubled man. We've all had to make hard decisions. Decisions that seemed right at the time, when indeed they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him. Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest. A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
And who is that?
My husband.
Step forward. What is your name?
He is the master builder of Kingsbridge.
Have you lost your courage?
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you. They call me Jack, after my father. My name is Jack Builder.
Yes, we have met before.
How old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
12. But I know what I saw. Philip told the truth.
You were a child. And what were you doing there, in the woods?
I was living in the forest, with my mother.
They were outlaws.
Prior Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlaw child cannot convince me otherwise.
He fathered a child!
Let him
go! He would never do that!
And yet, Lady Aliena is right. We do not know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waleran.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man. Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he? We ask God for his judgment. As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake. If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames. If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No! Waleran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip,
Then, who is the father?
Tom Builder.
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man. You've murdered him, Waleran, by God.
What is this nonsense?
He was a thief. He stole a golden chalice and melted it down and sold it.
What chalice?
The chalice of the Eucharist. He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Friar James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Prior James confessed to me the night the cathedral burned down. I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
No, he did not.
What proof do you have? Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Where did you find this chalice?
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
Order! I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waleran. Not just this chalice. If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation. Philip of Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest. The trial recommences at sunset.
We need a witness.
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness. Let's see. Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waleran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them, we can find a witness.
Good idea.
Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can. Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death. Bishop Waleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Waleran's still alive.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
He was on the White Ship. No one survived that night. No one lived to tell the story.
Yes. He was the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why? And what about the ship? Bishop Waleran is at the center of all this. William Hamley's father. Now, what about Prior James?
James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
but it's an important lead for us.
Percy Hamley was the sheriff of Shiring. Well, he could have ordered your father to be hanged.
But he was arrested and held in Kingsbridge first. Prior James claimed that my father had committed theft. My father wanted to go to England. He was the only one who made it when the White Ship sank.
I think we're getting closer.
Percy Hamley was poisoned.
One less witness that knew about Waleran.
And Waleran probably wanted William to become Earl. He was easier to control than his father.
What about Regan Hamley? She survived.
She was taken to her townhouse in Winchester. And in her condition, she might not be able to help at all.
How are Prior James and Percy Hamley connected?
Not at all, I would guess.
Except through Bishop Waleran.
Yes. He needed James to arrest my father and Percy Hamley to hang him.
Now both of them are dead. That can't be a coincidence. Why would Waleran, Percy, and James be concerned about the White Ship?
The son and heir of King Henry was on board. So were other possible heirs and other members of the royal household. I heard that Stephen was supposed to be on the ship as well, but became ill. He was the only male heir. The only threats were the king's daughter Maud and her half-brother Earl Robert, and they've been at war ever since.
And your father, Earl Bartholomew. He was a threat. He tried to stop Stephen and paid for that with his life. Maybe my father saw something on the White Ship. Proof that Stephen was involved.
What about the king?
If Stephen was responsible for the sinking of the White Ship, then he may have wanted the only witness of what really happened to disappear.
But he wouldn't have done it himself, of course.
No.
If the White Ship is involved, then it's likely that Waleran was told by King Stephen to murder your father.
But he was not king back then. Why would Waleran listen to him?
He was promised to become bishop.
Of course.
Remember, Bishop Henry is Stephen's brother, and back then he was already one of the most influential clerics in all of England.
But if Bishop Henry is in on all this, what chance do we have to turn this trial around?
It is a public trial. All we want is for Philip to go free. We find a witness to expose Waleran. Henry would have to play along to appear innocent.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
It's our best shot.
It's possible that King Stephen asked Waleran to kill Jack's father.
Do you think the king told James to arrest my father?
No. I find it much more likely that James was instructed to frame your father by Waleran, his superior. As Archdeacon, Waleran was much more involved in politics than James would have been.
Do you think Stephen would have approached Percy directly?
Because of the White Ship? To help him cover up his tracks?
I don't think so. I think it's more likely that Waleran contacted Percy. Just like he did when he wanted Percy to arrest my father.
If the king is behind all this, what chance do we have to stop Waleran and save Philip?
We must do our best.
The Chalice was used to kill the last survivor of the White Ship.
Yes.
Your father was locked up in our priory.
He was on the White Ship. We need a witness.
It's the only way to help.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it.
I think we're getting closer.
James...
So Waylerin and the others claimed your father had stolen a chalice from Kingsbridge Cathedral, and that he sold it?
Yes.
We know that's not true, but we need a witness.
It's the only way to help Philip.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important. Everyone thought Prior James was dead, that he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James' rosary by the river. So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waylerin made Philip prior. Waylerin and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Waylerin later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Waylerin told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waylerin never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already. The trial will continue soon. Soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around shiring like that.
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
All right. Take care of yourself. And Jonathan.
Yes?
We will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
All right. Remigius, now where are you? Have you seen Father Remigius, the Prior of Shiring?
He was here a moment ago.
Where's he now?
What do you want with him? Yeah, what do you want with him?
Oh, forget it. He was here. They saw him. He can't have gone far. Hello? Brothers?
What is it?
Have you seen the Prior of Shiring, Remigius?
We have not. And now step back, brother. We must be done by nightfall.
They saw him. He can't have gone far. They saw him. He can't have gone far. I don't see anyone here. No one's home. Everyone left for the trial, it seems.
Do you want to go in, Father?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Are you not with Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray they'll set him free.
He's a good man.
He is a heretic!
You're fools! Look at yourselves! Who are you to judge a man who has never hurt anyone?
Forgive them, Father.
We don't judge him, but God will!
Remigius? I don't think he's here. Wait, was that him? I think I saw him. Hello? The door's open. Is anyone there?
You had one task.
By God! No!
Our bishop is very displeased.
No! What are you doing?
I'm doing what is asked of me.
Stop it!
No! Stay away! This does not concern you! No!
Who told you to do this?
No one!
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
Do you have a witness?
Father Remigius, Prior of Shiring.
Where is Timothy?
What they told you is true. Bishop Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead. He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
This is a lie!
Is it?
James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth. And then you ordered me to kill him.
Nonsense.
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it. I hit him, but he died in the fire. Jack saw him. It was him. I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
You should stop this, for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Why would I care if that jongleur lived or died?
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
Bishop Henry and King Stephen ordered us to kill the man. You want the truth? That's the truth. Right there.
It is not. Waleran is a liar.
Regan Hamley.
Who is she?
I have waited long enough for this day. It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men were responsible for the death of the jongleur. James, the prior of Kingsbridge. The sheriff, my husband, Percy Hamley. But it was Waleran who was behind it. And only Waleran.
No!
He had heard rumors about the White Ship, about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor by hanging an innocent man.
But it was not just me. They all knew.
Take him away.
This is for taking my husband's life.
It was Waleran!
Oh, we did it. It's over.
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree. This trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of fire will take place. To show that the Church is not above God. To show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is madness! No! They can't do this!
Philip! No! You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the Church, Lady Aliena. My brother, the King, and I accepted the traitor Waleran into our midst. We were fools and sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames, for his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Light the pyre!
By God, there must be something we can do!
Stop this madness!
C'était le chapitre 20, final. Chapter 20, final. Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait? Excusez. L'évêque Walleran a dû faire face à la justice. Yeah, Walleran had to face justice. Philip n'a pas reconnu son hérésie. Philip didn't recognize his heretic. Vous avez réussi à laver le nom du père de Jack. Yeah, Jack's father's name was Wash of all bad things. Eliana a su pardonner à Philip d'avoir causé la chute de sa famille. Eliana forgive Philip. Jonathan a enfin appris qui étaient ses parents. Jonathan found out who was his parents. Philip a été condamné à être brûlé vivant. Philip was condemned to be burned alive. So, yeah. Now, chapter 21, chapitre 21.
Ah, Philip.
It is so good to see you, Jonathan.
Tell me, how are things at St. John in the Forest?
Francis is well.
That is wonderful.
Yes, he enjoys the life there. You look worried, Jonathan.
Well, you have a visitor. He just arrived.
Is that not a good thing, Jonathan? Who is it?
That is just it. I wasn't sure if you wanted to see him.
It has been a long time.
Ah, yes, it has. I had to know.
Know what?
The truth is, I never saw God. Or the devil. Have you?
Oh Lord, deliver us from evil. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Something we can
Thy
do.
kingdom come,
Stop this
thy will be
madness!
done on earth as it is
Are
in
you
heaven.
blind? Do you not know that a fire will burn any man, no matter who he is?
Why are you doing this? After Wayland's words, there is doubt in their hearts about my motives. About my brothers. No words can erase that doubt, but God can. Our Lord is a cleansing fire.
He's still alive. It's a miracle. He is among us. God is here.
How is this possible?
It's all a matter of perspective.
We have to stop this!
No, Jack. Come.
My God.
No, but that's what they see. That's what they believe.
The water. It's dousing the flames. It's a trick.
To them, it's a miracle.
The justice of our church. I believe Philip understands that now. His book will be destroyed. If you or your friends ever mention the White Ship again, I promise you will take Prior Philip's place. And God will not be as forgiving.
Their faith in you and your church is restored. I say it was worth sparing that monk's life. Promise me that Waleran will suffer.
Philip?
Yes?
Did you see God? Did he save you that night?
I told him. He only smiled at me. I never saw him again, as long as I lived.
Philip is back.
Philip! Did you walk all the way again?
Just part of it.
Old fool.
Ellen stayed in Kingsbridge. I thought I had lost God, that he did not watch over us. But now I see him every day. He is in the good we do, in how we show our love. Jack's hands had become rough, his hair grey, but his eyes still burned bright like hot coals.
It's good to see you.
Aliena's gaze could be as stern as her father's had been, but her heart and wit made her a leader people did not follow out of fear, but out of respect and loyalty.
Jonathan told us you had a visitor.
Just an old friend.
What do you think of this window?
Jonathan came to look more and more like his father, Tom. As Prior of Kingsbridge, he is also a builder of sorts.
I use mostly warm colours. What good are the large windows if it feels cold?
Sally is as stubborn and as gifted as her parents. It is her stained glass windows the light is falling through. She has children of her own now.
And I'd like to show you the plans for the new cloister.
Tommy will be the next master builder, and is as silent as his grandfather was. Once I heard him admonish his father to be more serious at work. Jack only smiled. He knew Tommy was right. Martha stayed in Kingsbridge as well. She was always there for every one of us.
Is the judge done now?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Is the church done now?
It will never be done. Not in my lifetime. Not in yours.
Remember us for what we did, for who we were, and maybe for what we tried to be. And when you turn your eyes to our cathedral, maybe you will see yourself.
Et c'était le chapitre 21, l'épilogue. It was chapter 21, the epilogue and the end. Ce qu'on a fait, vous avez répondu à la question de Walleran. Vous avez terminé les piliers de la Terre. So we answered Walleran's question and we are finished. So, yeah. Wow, what a story. Et oui, on a terminé. C'était Ken's Follett, les piliers de la Terre. Le jeu est sorti en 2017. C'était un adventure indie game, puzzle, point et cliquer, puis une nouvelle visuelle. So it was Ken's Follett, The Pillars of the Earth. The game came out in 2017. It's an adventure indie game, puzzle, point and click, and a visual novel. I found it very interesting. I'm not used to do those kind of games usually. It was good, long, but good. J'ai pas l'habitude de jouer ces jeux-là. Moi, je suis pas une fan de jeux de puzzle d'habitude. Mais l'histoire était bonne. Un peu longue, mais c'était bon. J'ai beaucoup aimé. Je sais pas s'ils vont nous montrer d'autres choses. Est-ce qu'on a d'autres choses à la fin? Ah, on va laisser aller, les credits. Eh bien, c'est tout pour cette fois-ci. Merci d'avoir été là. Soyez sages, portez-vous bien et à la prochaine. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for being here. Be kind, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye-bye.